Tacking is that basic boat handling maneuver that has the largest impact on the team's overall race position. A team will likely tack more than all of their other boat handling operations combined. Yet it's the one boat handling maneuver that will slow the boat down even when executed to perfection. So a team needs to carefully use its tacks only when absolutely necessary. Confidence and proficiency are the result of practice and can lead to tactical execution when it counts. Because the X99 is raced in conditions that vary from light air, where the boat struggles to accelerate, to breezy conditions where keeping the boat under control is the name of the game, tacking becomes an art form that is based on the crew's ability to react to the conditions present at the moment of the tack. When done well, there's not much boat speed lost. But it's important to find the flat water spots to tack in and make sure the crew is prepared for the tack. Effective drivers establish organized and disciplined procedures in their activities. Rarely will a good driver stray from the same basic routine because he or she must have some consistency with so many inconsistent variables to deal with off the boat. And more importantly, the crew needs a steady tempo to key their own actions on. The key for the driver here is to recognize the three phases of attack. In the first phase, the boat slowly turns into the wind, trying to maintain the pull of the sails long into the tack. In the second phase, the boat loses the pull of the sails, and the driver needs to push the boat through head to wind by using more helm. And in the third phase, the sails fill and the boat establishes its new close-hauled course for reacceleration. Generally, this new course leans on the footing end of close-hauled, with sails eased an inch or two to get the boat back up to speed quickly. Here you can see world champion helmsman Mez demonstrating an excellent tack. His tack can be broken down into two separate procedures found in the same order in every tack regardless of condition. First and foremost, the driver must be driving and focused on the turn the boat makes. And second, the driver must shift his or her weight with the crew to either roll tack the boat or move in unison to the new windward side. Mez has a special technique of standing while driving in the tack. His experience in dinghies and small keelboats gives him a strong sense of balance in the boat and the corrections he can make with the helm to maintain that balance. So he chooses to stand in order to get a better view over the crew. This technique is not for everyone, though. The mainsail trimmer is a huge part of the success on the X99. The main is a large portion of the horsepower in this sail plan, so the main trimmer has the responsibility of helping drive the boat through its maneuvers. The main trimmer has to be conscious of the boat's need to reaccelerate out of the tack and the time at which the trim goes into either accelerate, fine-tune, or point mode. The main trimmer begins his procedure by trimming the main end to help turn the boat, then trims the traveler across as the boat breaks through head to wind, eases the old running backstay before trimming the new one on, shifts his weight with the crew, and adjusts the main to help accelerate the boat on its new tack. In heavy air, the main trimmer may need to focus on the running backs and let the traveler drop to the leeward side briefly so that the boat can stay on its feet and under control. The headsail trimmers need to have a systematic approach to the job with good communication to the driver and main trimmer. Because the boat prefers to sail with the entire crew hiking out, they may need to trim the jib to a rough tune or acceleration setting and ask the main trimmer to step in and take a few turns on the winch later when the boat is up to speed, rather than take valuable weight off the rail. Some teams prefer to use one of these roles as the tactician upwind because this role can focus on activity outside the boat pretty well on the windward legs. In our demonstrations, we use a primary and secondary trimmer arrangement where the secondary always releases the old sheet and the primary always trims the new sheet. The procedure begins with the primary stepping into the boat before the turn to ready the winch. He then hands the old sheet off to the secondary to release and readies the new winch. Cueing off the turn of the boat and the jib as it begins to luff, the secondary releases as the jib breaks and the boat crosses head to wind. Keeping his head up and watching the sail he's affecting, the primary trims the new sheet on as the old is released. Both trimmers then adjust their weight to hike out or help balance the boat, and in heavier breeze, the primary trimmer will likely load the new running back before jumping to the rail so that they are prepared for the next tack. To efficiently do this job, the trimmer pulls all the slack out of the lazy sheet when loading the new winch and takes any extra wraps off the working winch just before the tack to ensure that the release goes cleanly. In addition, the secondary trimmer watches the break of the sail to decide when to release. In light air, backwinding all the way to the spreader tip may be necessary, while in heavier breeze, only a subtle backwind of the jib may be necessary. The pit will be the first to the new rail, so it's his job to focus on the balance of the boat and pay attention to the fleet situations around as they may develop quickly. Because of the difficulty in tacking the Genoa in some conditions, this position may help the sail around or simply jump across the cabin top as the boat breaks through head to wind. In extreme light air, it's also helpful for this position and the secondary trimmer to go down below to focus their crew weight lower in the boat. The bowman also focuses on the balance of the boat. He has to follow the pit person across, so coordination between these two becomes very important. He also watches to clear any problems with the spinnaker gear that may happen inside the boat. Generally, the bowman crosses under the boom with the pit person, but for teams that choose to sail with 7, it may be necessary to duck dive the Genoa, crossing in front of the mast. The complex layout to the X99 can offer distinctive challenges in terms of maintaining organization. Tacking the boat really well requires rigid discipline in the routine so that crew members have the proper room to work. Also, a tack may be the only opportunity off the rail to grab a line or unfoul a sheet, so the crew members have to think on their feet in proactively preparing the boat for the next stage of the race, rather than buckling into a backseat ride.